All right. Good morning, everybody. So we're going to go over your changes for the 2021 plan year. On the screen is the agenda of the items that we're going to be covering. So we're going to be covering the changes on your medical. It is going from Aetna to Blue Cross Blue Shield. Your dental plan stayed the same, as well as the vision. Some changes to the voluntary coverages, moving from Unum to MetLife, and then some enhanced benefits to the Aflac products. Your open enrollment begins today and will terminate on November 18th, which means you have until the 18th to go into the Darwinette system and elect your medical, dental, vision, and Aflac products. The rest of the products are going to be a paper form, or some of them will just roll forward, such as your HSA. In regards to eligibility, all employees are eligible once they've met the eligibility criteria. Additionally, your legal spouse, a domestic partner, and children up to the age of 26. You will be locked into these plans beginning January 1st, 2021, and you cannot make any changes unless you've experienced a qualified event, such as marriage, divorce, birth of a child, adoption, loss of coverage, things of that nature. You have 31 days from the date of the event to notify your HR department that you would like to make a change to your benefits. If you exceed the 31 days, you will have to wait until the next open enrollment period to make any changes. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. Next, we're going to go over the medical plans that are replacing your current Aetna coverage. The first plan is the PPO 1000. So this is the individual deductible. 2000 is the family deductible. If you meet that deductible in the calendar year, you are going to the coinsurance, which means at that time you will pay 20% of all charges until you reach that out-of-pocket maximum. Keep in mind your deductible, your coinsurance, all of your copays go towards meeting your out-of-pocket maximum. On this plan, when the deductible comes into play is with major medical services, inpatient services, hospitalization, surgeries, MRIs, CAT scans, durable medical equipment. That's when you have to worry about your deductible. Preventative care services, age-appropriate exams, and lab work are going to be covered at 100%. Your regular doctor visits or walk-in clinics, you have a $25 copay. And specialist is a $50 copay, and you may self-refer to specialists. You do not need your primary care physician to write you a referral. Your urgent care per visit is a $75 copay, and your emergency room per visit is $250. If you go to the emergency and have to be admitted, they will waive the $250, but you will start to pay towards your deductible. You also have pharmacy available. It is a 30-day retail supply. So the pharmacy on this plan is available before your deductible. Your generic drugs are either going to be the lesser of. Some of the pharmacies have $4 copays, $3 copays. The maximum you'll pay for those generic drugs is going to be $10. Your preferred brand name medication is $35. Your non-preferred is $60 or $120, depending on the medication. And then specialty drugs, you have additional 4 tiers that you will find on your summary benefit of coverage. If you have questions in regards to where your particular pharmacy falls, I can send you the pharmacy information and you can look for that prescription name. It'll tell you what tier it's going to fall and what your copay is going to be. Also, if you're taking specialty drugs, there's an additional formulary for that, so you can look that up and see how much that's going to cost you under the 4 additional tiers with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. Next, we're going to go over the next plan. So this is a PPO 3000. This is a high deductible health plan. So what that means is that all services are going to be subject to your deductible. So your regular doctor visit, your walk-in clinic, your urgent care, your emergency room, your specialist, and pharmacy are all subject to your deductible first, with the exception of your preventative care, age-appropriate exams and lab work, preventative drugs, and FDA-approved contraceptives. Everything else is going to be subject to your deductible, including pharmacy outside of the preventative drug list. And I have that list if you need to see it as well. So how this plan works is you pay your deductible, either $3,000 as an individual or $6,000 as a family, and then you're going to go into that cost share of 10% until you meet your out-of-pocket maximum. Once you meet your out-of-pocket maximum, you will be covered at 100%. With the high deductible health plan, you may also open your health savings account or HSA. If you are already enrolled in a high deductible health plan and plan on enrolling on the same plan for 2021, you do not need to open a new HSA account with UMB Bank. You can use the same account. If you're going to enroll in the high deductible health plan for the first time, you do need to have an HSA account if you want to put pre-tax dollars into that account. Any questions on these two plans? Okay. The last plan here is another high deductible health plan, a little bit lower deductible. This is a $3,500, a little bit higher deductible, $3,500 deductible, and then $7,000 for the family. If you meet that, you're going to go into that cost share, which is 80-20. You pick up 20% of the cost until you meet that out-of-pocket maximum. All services, again, on this plan, with the exception of preventative care, age-appropriate exams, preventative drugs, FDA-approved contraceptives, all of those are going to be covered before your deductible. Everything else is going to be subject to your deductible. The office visits, your specialist visits, your emergency room, and your non-preventative medications all are going to be subject to your deductible. You may use your health savings account to pay for these services for yourself and all qualified dependents. Any questions on these plans? All right, next we're going to talk about the health savings account. So in order to open or qualify for our HSA, you have to first enroll in a high deductible health plan. You have two available to you here, $3,000 and a $3,500. You cannot be covered under another plan that is not a high deductible health plan. So if you're covered under a spouse's, domestic partner, or another plan, or TRICARE, any plan that has co-pays before your deductible, that excludes you from being able to open an HSA account and put your pre-tax dollars in that account. Also, you cannot be enrolled in any part of Medicare. If you are Medicare age and not enrolled in any part of Medicare, you may open your HSA account. And then finally, you cannot be claimed as a dependent on somebody else's tax returns. Also, as a reminder, these HSA dollars that you put into this account, that is your money. It rolls over year. You do not lose it. There is no use it or lose it provision. That money continues to grow in that account. If you leave the company, that account goes with you. That money goes with you. If you put your money in that account and do not use it, you can keep that money and roll it over and use it for your qualified medical expenses for yourself or your dependents. There are maximums to put into that set by the IRS into that HSA account. So every year they review it. For 2021, they did increase it. So it's $3,600 per individual or $7,200 as a family. So under IRS rules, a family is 1+, so it could be 1+ a child, 1+ a spouse, or an entire family. Also, if you and your spouse are both on a high deductible health plan, the maximum between you is $7,200. Also, if you're 55+, you can add an additional $1,000 to that maximum, making it $4,600 and $8,200. Again, just as a reminder, the HSA dollars go into an account and they're available to use as they're deducted from your paycheck and put into the HSA account. Any questions on the HSA or the high deductible health plan? Okay. Next, we're going to talk about the flexible spending account. So it is similar to an HSA in the fact that you can select your pre-tax dollars to go into an account. With the flexible spending account, which is here on the screen, the maximum for 2021 is $2,500 and the maximum rollover is $500. If you have this account today and you have over $500, you do have to spend it down to up to $500 maximum. Anything in excess of $500 will be lost rolling into the 2021 plan year. You can use these dollars to pay for medical services, co-pays for yourself and qualified dependents. Also, this is a standalone product. You do not need to enroll in any type of medical plan in order to enroll in the FSA. You may enroll in this by itself, and you can use those dollars again for yourself and qualified dependents for medical, dental, and vision. Also, on this plan, if you leave the company, you do not take it with you. You lose the card and the money. The other thing on this, the amount that you elect is front loaded onto that card, so you can use it immediately once you get the card, and then the amount that you've selected is pre-tax deducted from your paycheck for the rest of the calendar year. You also have dependent care FSA, so again, pre-tax dollars that go into an account that you may use to pay your for daycare or elderly care. You may pay for the providers, or you may pay yourself back. And again, there is an annual maximum here of $5,000 that may go into that account for those services. Any questions on the flexible spending account? Okay. This illustrates or has the information on your telemedicine starting in January. So today we're using Teladoc with Aetna starting in January. It will be Blue Care Anywhere. Same concept, board certified physicians that are available 24/7, 365 anywhere in the US that you are. If you're traveling, this is a really good resource. That's typically when we get sick or the children get sick, so you can call the provider and they can send a script to a pharmacy that's closest to wherever you are. So under the medical, they can diagnose like the cold, the flu, pink eye, earache, UTIs, if you have a rash, if you need an inhaler, anything like that, the doctors are able to write a script. The counseling and psychiatry is also available, and if you call or utilize any of those services, you will keep that same counselor or psychiatrist for the duration of that plan or the treatment. Starting in January, this is going to be your new telemedicine provider, and this is going to be at zero copay for you and any dependents enrolled in the Blue Cross Blue Shield plans. Any questions? Okay, we're going to go over the dental plan. So you have the PPO dental plan with Delta Dental. It is a traditional dental plan. It's got an allowance of $1,500 to use towards your dental services for you and anyone enrolled in the plan. So each person gets their own $1,500. Additionally, there's another $1,000 to use towards child orthodontia. This is a one-time lifetime benefit per child. Your preventative services, your cleanings twice a year are going to be covered at 100%. Your basic services, which are going to include cavities, emergency services, and emergency extractions, are going to be covered at 80%, and you're going to pay 20% of those costs. Your major services, such as root canals, crowns, endodontics, periodontics, that's going to be covered at 50%. Now, if you utilize the basic services or the major services, you will be subject to a one-time deductible of $50 as an individual or $150 as a family. Any questions on anything we've gone over so far? So we have two additional dental plans here. So the first one is called the base plan. The next one here is the PPO Buy-Up Plan 1. So again, you get a $1,500 to use towards your dental services. And now the orthodontia benefit goes up to $1,500 per child, and this is a lifetime benefit. You still have the same preventative services, so cleanings twice a year covered at 100%. Your basic services, now a lot of those items that were the major services on the base plan are moving to the basics, such as endodontics and periodontics, now are moving to the basic services, which means they're covered at 80%. The major services is still going to include like crowns, implants, things of that nature, and it's still going to be a 50-50 cost share. Again, for those basic or major services, you will be subject to that one-time deductible of $50 as an individual or $150 as a family. The third plan is called the Buy Up To plan. So on this plan, the annual maximum increases to $2,000, and that's for each person enrolled in the plan. And then the orthodontia also increases to $2,000, and it is now adult and child orthodontia. Preventative care services is the same. You have your cleanings twice a year. Now your basic service is covered at 90%, which means you're responsible for 10% of the cost. And a lot of the services that were listed under major on Buy Up Plan 1 and the base plan are now moving to basic, so there's a lot more coverage there. Major services is now at 60%, which means you pay 40% of cost. And again, you're subject to that one-time deductible of $50 or $150 as a family if you use either the basic or the major services. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. This one does not apply. We won't go over this one. I apologize. But it does, here is the Delta Dental website. So you can go on the website, download the app to your telephone, and the app on your telephone will help you find a provider, illustrate how much you've used of your benefit, and you can download your ID card as well. You can do the same from the website. The vision plan, no changes to this vision plan. So it is still with iMed using the Insight network. This plan is available the eye exam is available every 12 months, and it is a calendar year, or a rolling 12 months, I should say. For example, if you went to the get your eyes checked on July 1st, 2020, you will have to wait until July 1st, 2021 to schedule that eye exam. The frame's available again every 12 months. It is a $120 allowance and then a 20% discount if it's over $120. And then your lenses, plastic lenses, single vision, bifocal, and trifocal are going to be a $10 copay. And then your contact lenses, in lieu of your lenses for your glasses, is an $80 allowance and then 15% discount above that. Medically prescribed contact lenses are going to be covered in full. Your life insurance. So the company does provide a paid life insurance, and that's at no cost to the employees. Now you will have to complete a new beneficiary form under MetLife because everything is moving under MetLife. So the voluntary life, all employees working 20 plus hours are eligible to purchase the voluntary life. It is still 5 times your annual earnings up to $500,000. The guarantee issue. Now, if you're covered today under the Unum policy and you have up to the $200,000, you are going to be grandfathered in. You will not have to provide any evidence of insurability. If you have $50,000, you can increase it to an additional $10,000. Again, no medical underwriting there. You can increase it up to $100,000 with no medical underwriting. That's for everybody that's enrolled today. Newly eligible or new employees, you can do 5 times your annual earnings, up to $200,000. For the spouse, it's going to be $25,000 guarantee issue. For children, $10,000 guarantee issue. And enhancements to this program is there is no benefit reduction, which means whatever we purchase, the amount of policy we purchase, we keep that same amount. It does not reduce as we age. Next is the short-term and long-term disability. So again, these are moving to MetLife. If you are enrolled today, we will need you to complete a new form, and I'll go over those forms shortly. So the short-term disability covers 60% of your pre-disability earnings, and it starts to pay at the 14th day of illness, accident, or hospitalization. The benefit is up to $1,000 per week, and it lasts 11 weeks. There is a pre-existing limitation clause, which I'll go over shortly. The long-term disability starts to pay after the termination of the short-term disability or the 90th day. It covers again 60% of your pre-disability earnings, up to $7,500 a month. And this plan lasts until age 65 or normal Social Security retirement age. The pre-existing limitation applies to those that are enrolling for the first time. If you are enrolled today, either the short-term or long-term disability, and you have been for most of the calendar year, you've satisfied that pre-existing limitation clause. If you're enrolling for the first time, the pre-ex is 312. So that means if you saw a provider, took medication, or were diagnosed with a condition 3 months prior to that effective date, which is January 1st, and then sometime in 2021, you go on short-term or long-term disability with because of that same diagnosis, it will not be covered. You'll have to wait a full 12 months for that particular diagnosis. If it's something completely different, it will be covered. Any questions on anything so far? Okay. EAP, the Employee Assistance Program. So you have two available to you. So the support link is the first one. This is available to all employees regardless if they enroll in benefits or not. So this gives you 3 face-to-face visits per incident. Also, it is 100% confidential. There is no reporting involved. No one gets names or reasons why the phone calls are being made. If you go to the website, there's additional self-help videos on there, and then also some concierge services available to you, some discount programs available to you and the family. The MetLife is the second EAP being offered. And aside from the face-to-face visits, you get other services available with this program. So planning services, will prep, and it's a simple will prep, grief counseling, funeral assist, and you also have travel assist. So travel assist is if you travel 100 miles out of your home zip code and you have issues where you lose your wallet, you're traveling in a foreign country, you need medical attention. It's a good number to have and to keep handy in the event that you need to get services in your language. And there's also a flyer that talks to both of these in the invite. All right, AFLAC. So we are moving. Do I have anybody from AFLAC on the phone? No. So with the AFLAC products, if you're enrolled today in the AFLAC products, you will get a communication, a call, or text from an AFLAC representative to speak to you about the changes of the AFLAC products. We are moving to a group platform AFLAC coverage, which means it's going to be less expensive and better coverage. We still have the accident plan that's going to cover anything as small as a paper cut, broken limbs, and everything in between. And it pays you immediately as long as you go see your doctor and you submit your claim, typically 24 to 48 hours. Your critical illness plan is now going to include the cancer plan. So it used to be separate, now it's together. All of these plans are going to be guarantee issue. The first 3, the short-term disability is a little bit different. That's an optional plan. So the critical illness with cancer pays upon diagnoses, so it's a lump sum coverage for diagnoses of any cancers, including skin cancer, and then any of the major diagnoses, heart conditions, kidney failure, paralysis, any of those conditions as well, there are going to be covered, and it has a lump sum. You can purchase either a $15,000 payout or a $30,000 payout, and then your spouse can be covered for half of whatever you're covered for, and then the children are covered for free under the critical illness with cancer. Again, I did provide information, and I can walk through it and how you're going to set up that appointment with your AFLAC rep and go over the coverages and the cost. And then the hospital plan, same scenario, starts to pay immediately upon entry into the hospital, so it's an enhanced benefit, and then pays per day if you're in the ICU, the regular care, and then procedures done within the hospital. The short-term disability is similar to the MetLife. If you're family planning or know you're going to be out on disability, there is the pre-X also on the short-term disability here, but it is more customizable. So it can start to pay by the 7th day versus the 14th day, and it also has a longer duration period if you need it. Here's information on AFLAC and how to contact the representative. This is also in your flyer. And then pet healthcare is still available. So I would recommend going to the website, entering your zip code to see if any veterinarians in your area are participating in the United Pet Care program. It is a discount program. You do have to enroll in it. It's $11.60, I think, for one pet. And then it goes up from there depending on how many pets you're going to be covering. And it does cover all pets with the exception of fish. And there is no pre-X or breed exclusion on this plan. Legal Shield and ID Shield are also available. So the Legal Shield is a suite of attorneys at your disposal to help 24/7. They can do contract review. They are also trial defense attorneys. They can generate power of attorneys, living wills, and a lot more. The ID Shield helps monitor your credit bureau and the internet to make sure no one's out there trying to assume your identity and ruin your good name. In the event that you do become a victim of identity theft, they do help in the restoration of that, doing all of the contacting of the creditors, the bureaus, and the police department, and all that good stuff for you. All right, next steps. So I'm going to bring up the forms. We do want everyone to complete their medical, dental, vision, and AFLAC enrollments via the portal. And it's going to be the D2 portal. In the invite, there's a link here. You just click on it and it takes you to the same place where you're going to view your paycheck. That's the same link, same password, same everything that you use there. On this document, there's a lot of stuff, right? So we're going to go over the things that we absolutely need from you. So one is the enrollment for the medical, dental, vision, or a waiver. So everyone must go in and make their changes on the system. Again, elect your coverage or waive coverage, and we need that from everyone. I'm going to bring up, just 1 second here, if I can find it. Number is it? Number 3. Okay, so number 3 form on here, as indicated below, is going to be your AFLAC form. You can either complete the form and return it to Jamel or to Jose. That's going to be on here as well. If you have AFLAC today and you just want to review what you have, if it's beneficial to keep what you have, or if the new AFLAC products are going to save you money, they have this time trade that you can click on, and it takes you directly to Jose's calendar. And here is where you can indicate what day, time you want to have the one-on-one with Jose. So this is a really quick way of doing that, or you can email him directly or give him a call or a text message. The first page, or the second page, excuse me, explains a little bit more of the coverages, what the difference compared to what you have today. It'll go, much more detail than I went over. And then, of course, it gives information or asks for information about the short-term disability. If you want Jose to give you a quote for that, he can definitely do that. The enrollment forms are in here as well, but as I stated earlier, we do need you to complete that enrollment form via the website, but these can be used for illustrative purposes and see how much the deductions are, etc., what is going to come out of your check, etc. So you can review those there. What you'll see on the D2 system are your per pay period deductions. That's what you're going to see on that Darwinet system. Your per pay period deductions depending on the plan that you're going to be electing. If you do not enroll, nothing is going to roll over. The only thing that's going to roll over is going to be the pet health care, the legal shield, ID shield, and your HSA account. Those are all going to roll over. Your flexible spending account, if you want to enroll in that, we do need a form from you as well. That does not automatically roll over, and that's going to be the form on here labeled, I believe, form number 6. That looks like this. This is for the flexible spending account. That does need to be completed, and you can return it to Jamel upon completion, so we can sign you up for that flexible spending account. Again, it does not automatically roll over or renew. Does anybody have any questions on anything we've gone over today?
Leticia, this is Brian. I do have one question. I want to make sure that everybody understands that if they waived their insurance at the beginning of the year, they need to go back in and waive again. Is everybody going to be getting a link sent to their email, or is this something that I have to copy and paste and provide to everybody?
Everybody will get a link to their email. I'm going to prepare that later today and send it out to everyone.
Okay,
I'm going to try to send it in a mass email, but I may have to send it individually. So I'm trying to figure that out right now, actually.
Okay, I just want to make sure, because we do have a number of people who waive for other coverage. I need to make sure that they get in there and do the form to waive again. correct?
Yes. Yes, they
Okay.
have to waive. So if somebody waived earlier this year when we did the open enrollment first time around, and you waived, you do have to waive again.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, we do need those waivers, either enrollment or waiver from everyone. Those are the things that we do need from everyone to come back to us. Internally in the system, or for whatever reason that online system's not working, you have the paper forms, you can waive on there as well. But we do need to collect that from everyone. Any questions on anything we've gone over today? All right, so I will convert this to a YouTube link and send it out to Brian later today with any information that anyone may request.
Okay, and we will talk to you again in about 25 minutes again. So
Yes.
hopefully everything will work and we'll get the rest of our company in through this. So you did a great job. Thank you very much, both of you, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day.
Okay, thank you.